Hello, and welcome back to the Dungeons & Dragons Podcast UK. My name is Yazmin, and I will be the DM.
Hi, my name is Samantha. I play Elora Greyvale, and she is a sorceress from the province of Nephalia.
Hello, I'm Colin, and I play Cuin de Greymont, a paladin from Thraben in the province of Gavany.
Hi, I'm Ryan. I play Ogvar Shawfort, a goat-herding, mushroom-seeking ranger from Kessig.
Hi, I'm Rick, and I play Otto, a spring sage from Hanweir, sworn to the land, wandering the plain and setting wrongs to right with his ursine companion, Bojo.
After a steady 3-day trip, our heroes descended on their destination and hauled up their wagon not far from the base of the tower. After a brief conversation, Elora's attempt to enter was rewarded by a sharp, jarring jab to the jaw, followed swiftly by a gut shot, leaving her gasping. It soon became clear that some strange things were afoot. With dastardly doors appearing and disappearing, entry seemed an elusive prize, until Otto spilled a successful stone-shaping spell, and taking Ogvar with him, they stepped beyond the outer wall and out of sight. As the credits rolled out on episode 119, Ogvar and Otto had been booted out of a back door, whilst on the opposite side of the tower, Cuin and Elora had been delivered a pop-up plaque carrying some kind of cryptic clue. Episode 120, Coastal Caves and Crabby Critters.
Okay, so Otto and Ogvar, you rejoin Cuin and Elora.
Oh, hang on a minute. Where did you two come from? I thought you went in. I mean, the door disappeared. The wall closed up after you. We just assumed that you'd gone in.
Well, we did go in, and then we walked around for a little bit longer than I expected to. And then Otto found a door, and it opened, and then we got kicked out.
Well,
by a boot.
You did.
You got kicked out by a what?
Well, I got kicked out by a boot. Same as the gloves, same sort of thing.
Oh, well.
Then the door disappeared, and now we're out here.
Whichever way you look at it, this is interesting. This is some interesting use of magic, isn't it? Do you not think?
Seems like a lot of tomfoolery.
Yeah, but it kind of shows a sense of humour.
Oh yes, it's not. Apart from a bit of a bruised backside, and you've got a bit of a black eye coming, but
Well, yeah, that was a little less than pleasant, but
it's not particularly malicious damage, I suppose. But
yeah.
none of us are on fire or frozen.
You two, there's a plaque here. There you go, read it for yourselves.
Is it?
Okay.
Is it worth it? I'm wondering whether it's going to disappear the moment we look at it.
No, it's still there. It's definitely still there.
Okay.
So, is this another joke? Do we go and look for a key, or...
What does it say?
Or do we just... Well... To test your mettle, prove you're in fine fettle. Retrieve the key from where the sea invades my gaping maw. And, obviously, there's an arrow. It's indicating that the key is in... Why would you tell somebody where a key is?
Because it's a game. You ever played that game where two kids run around with a piece of chalk? One leads a few different directions and the other one acts like an idiot and follows them.
Well, I don't see that we've got much choice.
She's going to, Laura's going to take a few steps back, turn around, look up at the tower, cup her hands to her face and she's going to go, "Oi! Jinrick! You in there? Hello? Hello? Let us in!" I'm not getting an answer, guys. I'm guessing that we haven't got a lot of choice.
How close is this storm at this point?
Elora. As you shout upwards, maybe a reflex save.
Oh shit, what's this? A bucket of boiling oil from the top floor? Reflex save.
Ice bucket challenge.
Yeah. Reflex save. Where's reflex save?
A whole crate of gloves been chucked at you.
Oh shit. Okay, that's a 2 + 8, so it's a 10.
Oh,
Distinctly average.
nice. Okay,
Not
so
really.
as you shout upwards, and you've got your head tilted back, a window on the 3rd floor opens, and appearing in short succession, a flower pot drops down and lands on you, dealing 10 points of damage and breaking, leaving you with a pile of soil with a small daisy on top of your head.
Ow! Oh! Mary, mother of fucking Harrison! What the? Why? Stop it!
That
Well, that was a little less than pleasant.
Laura's going to take her hat off and she's just going to dust the soil off the top while she's effing and jeffing.
Well, at least it was only a flower pot. It could have been a chamber pot.
don't give him ideas.
I like your enthusiasm.
We've got to find the positives.
The positives.
I think
I don't think shouting is working, and definitely by the look of it, trying the various doors aren't working. Not nasty surprises, but surprises nonetheless. That I think we should go and you know what? Let's go and try and find this key. It's in that direction. Maybe there's a cave, and there's a cave mouth, and all this time we haven't been able to get in because that's not the way to get in.
Elora's going to smile through gritted teeth, remove her hat once more, not satisfied. She's going to brush it down again and say, "Well, it looks like I've soiled myself." Ha! Put her hat back on. And then she's going to motion with the hand in a flicking motion towards Cuin, saying, "After you."
She's
Okay.
She's lost the pot.
Oh no. No.
Oh, she found the pot.
Oh,
You found
do
her.
leaf it out.
So, what do we do with the horses? Do we take them with us and drag them along for the ride?
Esther, are you all right looking after the horses while we go and investigate, or somebody, or should we leave more than one here?
No, don't worry about me, dearie. I've got it all covered. I'll have Bojo here. Are you taking Bojo with you?
Yes, I think I'd feel a bit more comfortable if we're going to be maybe searching out doors that disappear and such.
Oh, well, that's all right. I'll stay here with the horses.
Just don't open any doors or windows, Esther. It's probably for the best.
Okie dokie, dearie.
Okay, so we head towards wherever the arrow, towards the south, wasn't it?
Yes.
Head south.
So, the arrow pointing towards the south. Where Jenrick's tower is, it is relatively close to the cliff edges. On your map, it's probably a little closer to the southern edge. So, you follow roughly the direction this arrow points, and everyone can roll me a search check, I believe. Yep, search check, please.
Okay.
That's a 3 all in from Elora.
3 all in. Lovely. Good job.
Search again.
That's what you get for pottering
Yeah.
around.
Yeah, she's slightly,
Oh.
she's slightly concussed.
That's a 2 from Cuin.
2 from Cuin. You
And
can't
a
peep
14,
Oh,
a 14 plus 7 for Ogvar, 20.
that. Nice.
21.
And Otto?
If nothing but consistent, I rolled another 4, and I'd have a total of 7 again.
Okay. So, as you travel down towards this southern cliff, it's probably a good 40 or 50 foot away, the cliff edge. You can't find anything. I mean, you take a look, you try and see if you can find a trap door or anything of that kind, any kind of indication. But it's not until you get to the cliff edge that you can see a pathway. It's not being cut into the cliff edge. It is this natural pathway. It's quite steep at the top, but it is quite wide. And the entrance is almost kind of concealed, visually concealed between like this the cliff edge and a couple of rocks and stuff. But as you get closer, you obviously spot this, and it is a pathway, clear pathway leading down the cliff.
After you, Cuin.
Okay. Oh.
Okay, so you're all going to head down the pathway?
Yeah.
So heading down the pathway, you are buffeted by strong winds. You're literally descending a cliff here. You are buffeted by strong winds. There are gulls soaring high above you, obviously catching the thermals and the winds, and kind of swooping down low past you towards the sea surface, and then catching the wind and almost kind of looping back upwards. It's almost like this kind of constant cycle of kind of dropping down and looping back upwards. It is a wide path. Bojo can comfortably fit down the path. And you would be able to pass each other if required. It might be a little tight, but you would be able to pass each other if required. The cliffs are formed from this kind of white chalk cliffs. So, if you do brush against them, you actually do end up with some chalk residue on your clothing. And the ground is quite loose and crumbly. So as you take a step, you might take a step and you'll find that the different layers of kind of sedimentary rock slip and slide out from underneath your foot. So it's quite treacherous. You're not going to go tumbling off the edge, but you will slip slightly and perhaps jolt around and get yourself a little bit dirty and a little bit scuffed up.
Elora is firmly got her left hand on the top of her hat, holding her hat firmly in place. Although it fits well, it's very, very windy, so she's got her hand on top of her hat, and as she's got Cuban heels on her boots, she is kind of descending, kind of in a sideways fashion to get a better purchase on the stony ground.
Okay. So you're crabbing it.
Crabbing it, yeah. Crabbing it, that's the one.
Are you not going to put your hat chin strap on?
No, the hat fits really, really snugly, but she's still got her hand
I was
top
joking.
of it.
It was a joke.
Oh. Haha.
You can't blame that on the concussion.
Should have left the soil on it to weight it down a bit, shouldn't I?
So you descend down the cliff, and it's quite steep in sections, and then it's got these kind of looping corners, and it's a bit of a threading path. You loop back on yourselves on some occasions, go around a tight corner, hairpin corner, but eventually you make your way to the bottom of the cliff. You can hear the waves roaring and crashing against the edge of this cliff, and they are splashing. You can feel the sea spray in the air. As it kind of, it's this kind of big. You hear the roar of the ocean and smashing, and then you get this spray of sea which is promptly blown into your faces. But as you reach the bottom, you can see a very narrow sliver of this silver sand beach is visible. And you're able to get onto the beach. The rest of it is covered in water. It's probably only about 20 foot deep at the deepest part. This bit of beach. There's not much land there. And as you all take a look around, you can all see about 20 foot away in this carved out of this white rock, a sea cave. It's clearly tidal. You can see that the flat stone surrounding it, which kind of peeks through like bones through the sand. You can see water pooled in some of the hollows, and as you look closer, you can see some sea life. You can see a couple of little crabs scuttling in and out of the water pool, these pools of water. And you can see that the line, this water line, where clearly the water rises up the cliff. You can see it's eroded away, and it's a lot smoother rock. It's not jagged, it's smoother, and you can see like a layer of clinging kelp is roughly about 10 foot above the top of this cave entrance.
I don't know about you, but there's the cave. But I'd say that once the tide starts coming in, we're in a bit of bother down here.
Yeah, whatever we're going to do, we need to do that fairly rapidly, because this tide seems to be coming in. It's going to get higher, and it's really choppy because of the storm.
Yes, well, so how did it go again? What was how did
something
it go?
about
To test your metal,
yeah.
prove you're in fine fettle. Retrieve the key from where the sea invades my gaping maw. I would say that one or two of us need to go to the cave and try and find the key.
I'd be careful.
That-
I'd be careful about getting too much salt water on that armour.
That's all right. I've got plenty of. I shall wear my armour in there.
What? I can't hear you. It's noisy.
Pardon?
Huh?
Yes, exactly. Plenty of oil.
Yeah.
Yep. Okay. Right. So I'll go. Who else is going to come? Probably best if if I say I tie a rope.
I agree. It's windy. Yeah.
Do you know anybody called Wendy? I don't know where she's come with these names.
I don't think I know a Wendy.
Oh, man.
Yeah, I'll follow you.
I think it was being struck by that plant pod. Right. Anyway, I'll tie this rope here around me, and we'll. So you got something to know where we are. And I'll go head into the cave.
Elora's just waving with her hand, pointing. Just
Yes, that way.
Go.
Yeah, that way. Of course, it's a great big cave, man. I could see it.
I wouldn't worry. She's been driven potty.
More than you could ever know. What? Right.
What?
Forward.
Oh, clay off.
Yeah, so Ogvar just watches Cuin disappear off with a rope tied round him, and I assume the rope's just trailing on the floor.
Yeah.
Just imagine Ogvar's just looking at it, just
Can we
disappearing.
will have gone, and he'll go. Turn round and go. Oh. You're supposed to hold the rope. It's so you know where I am. And if I give it a
I
tug.
know where you are, you're on the end of the rope.
Yes, but you might not be able to see me.
Elora can't understand what the hold-up is. She's just flapping and waving. Is it dark? I mean, obviously it's dark inside the cave, but is there light that floods a reasonable way in? How deep does the cave seem from where she stood outside it?
Yeah, you all kind of stood towards the entrance of this cave, and you can see inside. It's dim and dank, but you can see probably a good 10 foot inside. Elora, with your magical eye, you can see it a little further, but it does turn and it bends away.
If it gets a bit too tight for you, just let me know.
Right. She's going to pull a dagger. As soon as she's coming out of the wind now, she can let go of her hat, and with her left hand that she takes off her hat, she's going to pull out her dagger and she's going to cast light on it.
Okay.
Okay, yeah. Ogvar will grab the rope that is treading across the sand. Chalk? Sand, chalk?
Yep.
It's sand. Sand, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, it's nice and gritty and damp.
Nice.
Okay, so what are you doing? So, Cuin, you're heading into the cave?
Yes, following the hat.
Following the hat,
Yeah.
okay. Otto, what are you doing at this point? Are you standing outside as well?
I think I'll be standing somewhat near the entrance of the cave in case Cuin hollers and gets stuck.
Okay, so entering into the cave, Elora and Cuin, you can see various kind of sea creatures scuttling around, mostly crabs, scuttling around the floor. You do see the occasional, you see barnacles coating the walls, nice clusters of them, and you see the occasional remaining pool of water where obviously this tidal flows kind of come in and filled up these little mini rock pools. You do see things like little starfish kind of clinging to the chalky surface of the rock. Making your way in, you can hear the dripping of water, and the storm outside is strangely muffled, the raging winds and seas are strangely muffled. You get this click of water every so often, which echoes around. Looking up, you can see stalactites hanging from the ceiling, obviously formed from minerals, growing in sharp spikes. Heading into the cave, how long is your rope, Cuin?
50 foot.
50 foot. Okay, so as you head into the cave, trailing this rope behind you, the pair of you travel for a good 30 foot inwards, to the point where the light from outside is kind of shrunk, and it's this kind of silvery shining portal almost behind you. But as you get in, this has been on a steady incline, so you've been walking uphill effectively, and there is almost this worn narrow channel in the centre of this cave where water is clearly spilled out, and this kind of main flows it's almost like a constant little trickle from the water running down the side of the cave walls itself, kind of pooling and running out to the sea. But as you travel inwards, you have been going uphill. You can tell you've been going uphill. It's not steep, but it's also not a gentle slope. It's enough to probably make your calves burn ever so slightly. But you emerge with your light illuminating a rock wall in front of you. The passageway is widened up to about 15.5 foot, and in front of you is a solid rock wall, which, when you shine your dagger or hold your dagger up and shine around, you can see that this rock wall is 10 to 15 foot high.
As Elora looks up the rock wall, what can she see? Does the wall go all the way up to the ceiling, or is there like a plateau? Is it something that they're going to potentially need to climb?
So as you look at the wall, you can see that it is in fact a plateau. It's like a secondary level, and the area, the ceiling height above you, as you've emerged into this kind of wider part of the passage, has kind of cut off, and it's vaulted upwards.
Right.
So you have emerged into this kind of bigger secondary space.
Right.
Well, I can't see any sign of a key or any writing. Can you?
She's going to move her drag. Well, she'll move her dagger around in different directions. It's only 15 foot wide, so the whole thing should be illuminated anyway.
Yes.
Is it illuminated all the way to the ceiling? Is the vaulted ceiling quite high above the plateau, or is it?
It's about the same height as the corridor you were just in. So you can see the stalactites clung to the ceiling above you.
Okay, well, it seems that we've kind of reached the end, Cuin. So if there's nothing down here, then it looks like we have to be up there. Let's just examine. She's going to examine the wall. She's going to put a hand on it and have a look at it. Is that chalk as well?
Yeah. Yeah, it's very much
Rub
the
the
same.
chalk amongst her fingers. Yeah, I mean, this is chalk as well.
It's quite
Which
slimy.
means that. Yeah. Yeah, but chalk is soft, Cuin. So we could climb up using some pitons if we've got some. Let me just have a rummage in my backpack and see exactly what I've got. You have a look around and see if there's anything obvious. Is there any other indicators anywhere? Anything carved into the chalk? What is this game that we're playing?
I don't know. I'll just look around, see if I can spot anything.
Okay, so make me a spot check, Cuin. Meanwhile, Otto and Ogvar, as you're stood outside, the wind is buffeting you. The sea spray is gradually soaking you, and the tide is creeping closer.
It's getting a little inhospitable out here, Otto.
I think so, yes. You don't happen to be able to breathe underwater, do you?
I can, but not for very long.
Well,
I'd say about 3 minutes.
Bojo can't. So I shall wander over to Bojo, give him a bit of a scratch on his head, and then sort of suggest quite firmly that he makes his way back up to the cliff and back to the tower. Repeat it a couple of times so he definitely understands. And then ask Ogvar if perhaps he'd like to go with him while I keep watch down here. Because I can, if I need to, breathe underwater.
Ooh, okay. I don't mind hanging around. If the water gets too close, I can go back up the path. But I'm quite happy to stay here and aid when needed.
So long as you don't risk yourself. I'd hate to come all this way to find you, only to find you a corpse shortly afterwards. It's a bit embarrassing, that.
Oh, I don't intend on that happening, but I do appreciate the concern.
Oh, good. Well, we'll just wait here a little longer then, perhaps.
Yes, we'll give it a few more moments and see if... well, I'm still holding on the end of this rope, but it seems to have... movement seems to have stopped. It's not wiggling anymore. I might give it a bit of a tug and see if I get any response. So that Ogvar will just give 2 or 3 tugs on the rope and see what happens.
Okay, so Bojo stands up, gives you a bit of a lick, and lumbers off, and you see Bojo, he gets to the stone path and walks up the path slightly and then stops and gives himself a mighty shake, and you see bits of sand go flying everywhere. So, inside the cave, Cuin, what did you roll?
I rolled 8 plus 5, which is 13.
Okay. You take a look around and you do a bit of investigating. And by stepping back and craning your head as far as you can go, you can see the hint of something metal on the plateau above. You can't quite see what it is, but you can see that there is something up there. As you're busy looking around, you feel a vague wiggling motion from the rope.
I say, Ogvar's pulling. I don't know if there's anything going on out there, but I'm just going to pull it back. But there's something metal up there.
Is there? Well, you're taller than me, so maybe you've got a better... So, what we're saying is we need to get up there, right?
It looked like it.
Right.
How far would you reckon it is high?
It doesn't really matter because I can actually get up there.
Oh, Awesome.
And I could take you with me if you want to come with me. Or you can wait down here. What do you prefer? I'd kind of feel safer if you came with me.
Yes. Oh yeah, I'll come with you. Yeah.
Give me your hand.
Okay.
And just go with it. Don't fight it. She's going to take Cuin's hand, get a good grip on his hand, give it a squeeze, and she's going to say, Apiri Iwan Yuan. And
Bless you.
she vanishes and reappears. She's casting Dimension Door and she's taking Cuin with her up onto the plateau above. It's got to be towards the edge because she can't see any further. So it's got to be a space you can see, so she can see the edge of the plateau.
Okay, can you read me the spell description for Dimension Door, please?
Fuck, yeah. Okay. You instantly transfer yourself from your current location to any other spot within range. You always arrive exactly at the spot desired, whether by simply visualising the area or by stating direction. After using this spell, you can't take any other actions until your next turn. You can bring along objects as long as their weight does not exceed your maximum load. You may also bring one additional willing, medium or smaller creature carrying gear or objects up to its maximum load, or its equivalent per 3 caster levels. A large creature counts as 2 medium creatures. All creatures to be transported must be in contact with one another, and at least one of those creatures must be in contact with you.
Okay, that's
If
fine.
there's no free space, yeah.
Okay, that's fine.
Yeah.
So Ogvar.
Mm-hmm.
Make me a reflex save, please.
A reflex save.
So you're attached to the rope.
He's got hold of it.
Oh, okay.
That's going to be. Hold on, I'm doing really easy maths that was confusing me. Right, it'd be 19 and 11 would be 30.
Oh,
Okay, yeah. You feel a sudden and violent yank on the rope, which tugs you forwards, but you're able to kind of regain your step and let go of the rope as it shoots out of your hand and disappears into the cave.
Ogvar will sort of just stand there with his hands open and the rope pinging out of them, and look at Otto and go, I don't know whether that's good or not.
Don't think it's a good thing. Do you think maybe something ate him?
I'm hoping not. But I can't hear any screaming, so...
Well, he wouldn't, I guess. Do you think perhaps we should go in and make sure they're okay?
Possibly, yes. I think that might be wise.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, it's getting wet out here anyway. Come on then. Let's go have a look.
Yeah, okay. Let's have a yes. So Ogvar will sort of go and sort of... No, the rope's gone as it... Yeah.
Yeah.
He'll look for the rope as he goes, see if he can find out where the rope is, or whether it's just gone.
Okay, so as you both enter the cave, you travel a little way up the passageway, and you find the rope on the floor, hung loose. As you travel a bit further up, it is still illuminated because Elora's dagger is still lit, and you see this big wall in front of you. The other end of the rope has been cut off. Cuin, your rope has been severed. It's now about 45 foot long. And stood on top of this large kind of rocky outcropping in front of you, you see Elora and Cuin.
hi! She's just going to stand at the edge and wave down. We're up here!
And we're not.
No, you're not.
What
You'll
are
have
you
to
doing
wait
up
at the
there?
bottom unless you've got a way to climb up.
Maybe you could just pass a rope down?
Yeah, I guess we can do that. If we hold the rope, they can climb up if they want to. Is it necessary for them to climb up? Cuin, what's up here? What? Elora needs to look round. Just a moment, just a second. Let's just see what's up here. Elora starts looking around. What can she see?
Okay. So, as you look around, you can see 2 passageways. One heading left, and one heading right. You can see part of the way down each passage, thanks to your dagger. However, there's not really any identifying features. The main feature that you can see is where this passageway is split. Obviously, there's a large large, thin, almost a rounded wedge of rock coming down from the ceiling where it's split into these 2 passageways. Leant against this pillar of rock is an incredibly large ship's anchor. And a short
Leaning
length,
against it.
and a short length of chain. For reference, the ship's anchor is about as tall as you, Elora.
Right, and it's just leaning up against the separating pillar, is it?
Yep.
Okay. Okay. Laura's going to just go and just have a look at it. She's not going to touch it. She's just going to have a look at it. Is there anything specific that she would notice about it? Anything odd? Where is the chain just on the floor, or is it dropping through the floor, or?
No, it's just on the floor. It's just a ship's anchor.
Okay. What do you reckon to this?
I don't know, but it's not for a little boat, is it? That's rather large.
I wonder how this got up here. I'm not sure I want to think about that, really.
No. Well, obviously you never sailed there.
Well, it's not going to have washed in on the tide. It's too heavy.
No. Weird.
So,
right, which way do you want to go? Left or right?
well, I don't know. Do you think the other 2 should come up here? I mean,
Yes.
let's face it, if the tide's coming in, they're going to need to get out of where they are anyway.
Well, yes. Well, yes. Have you got any rope? Because mine appears to be down there.
Yeah, I've got 45 foot of rope.
Ah,
Okay. They're going to Laura will wander back to the edge, peer over the edge of the plateau down at Ogvar and Otto. Right, we're gonna try and anchor a rope up here somehow. And you'll have to climb up. Cuin, that anchor's pretty big. The chain's quite big. Do you think it'd be safe to actually tie a rope to the anchor? I mean, that's got to be really heavy.
oh,
And we
yes,
can just
I'll
support.
lean against it as well.
Yeah, we can just support the rope. Yeah, Elora will attempt to go and tie her 45 foot of rope. How far into the plateau is... She's got 45 foot of rope. If she ties the rope to
It'll make it.
the end of the anchor... Sorry?
It'll make it.
It'll make it, okay. Right, so she's going to tie the one end of her rope to the end of the anchor chain, and she's going to walk across, uncoil the rope, and throw it down to the boys below.
Okay, Ogvar and Otto, while these 2 are messing around up top, what are you doing?
Having a look around to see if there's anything else of interest in this cave, any signs of anything that's been here before, any signs of a key hiding somewhere, that sort of thing.
Okay. No to the key. You can't see any traces of any kind of key. As for things being there before, it's tidal. When the tide comes up, it'll wash out any traces. But you do find several really, really interesting starfish.
Mm.
And a friendly crab, which promptly runs up and clips your toe.
Bastard.
Okay. So, Ogvar, are you doing anything in particular, or?
Would there be any mushrooms growing on the walls or anything that he may have read about in his book?
Make me a knowledge mushroom check.
I just use my find mushroom checks. My skill.
Find mushrooms, yes.
Ah, now the good rolls come out. That's going to be a 16, a 2 plus a 14.
Nice. Okay. So you do find a mushroom, or a little cluster. You could probably harvest 4 mushrooms from this. But what you find is a star shroom. This one sticks out to you because it's one of the more unusual ones from Portia's book. These mushrooms are clung to the wall, a bit like a barnacle, I guess. They've got quite rubbery, very rubbery stalks, quite short, and they've got large flat caps which have got almost these kind of anemone-like tentacles which hang down, and were they underwater they would be floating around. And the very top of them looks exactly like a starfish.
What was that? The underside of them?
The top of them, on the
top
cap.
of them.
On this kind of flat disc-shaped cap, it's got this kind of raised protrusion which looks exactly like a starfish.
Okay.
Okay. So, you were able to get 4 of those.
Okay, yeah.
You're not quite sure of the effects. It's not something you'd have remembered off the cuff at the moment. However, you can look them up later. And you both kind of go around, and a rope appears.
Ogvar, before you come up, you couldn't possibly pick up my rope, could you?
Why, yes, of course. Yes, I'll grab that. And sort of like grab it, loop it up, and sort of tuck it through one of the loops on the backpack. And so, yeah. Are you okay with climbing this rope, Otto?
Oddly enough, I'm not especially athletic. Would you perhaps mind giving me a boost up?
Guys, before you come up, there is another option if you don't want to use the rope.
Go home.
What about using the extendable ladder? Is that in Orland?
Oh, I believe it is, yes. Let me have a quick look.
From memory, I think that goes up to 200 foot, doesn't it?
I think you're a bit closer than 200 foot, so I think we should...
Well, it's up to
Be
you.
okay, yes.
I mean, there's a rope if you want to use it, but it's just a thought.
So, Ogvar will look at Otto and go, like, sort of like, nod and sort of, ladder?
Ladder. Yes, I think so.
Okay.
Okay.
Let's see how this goes. But yeah, Ogvar will fetch said ladder from Orland.
Yep, he opens a flap up and spits out this miniature ladder.
So, yeah, Ogvar will put it, it's in the palm of his hand and show it to Otto. It gets bigger. And then sort of like just hold it out, sort of like at the right angle, and then say, how you say about 15 foot?
About 15 foot.
Yeah, so I'll say like 20 foot or something like that. Just go over a little bit. And
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, the ladder shoots out and extends. It goes a little past the edge. But yeah, you've now got a 20-foot ladder. And I'm going to assume that both of you are going to go up said ladder.
With a little...
Yeah.
With a,
While they're doing this, Elora will draw her rope back and untie it and put it back in her backpack.
Oh, Otto, were you detaching the crab from your foot, or were you letting him hitch a ride?
I'm tempted to stick it in my pocket for see if anyone wants a meal later. Yeah, I'll probably just drop him back in the water, maybe a little distance away from my toes.
As we last left, our sorceress had had enough of the silly shenanigans. With bad weather blowing in and time a valuable commodity, Elora elects for a more direct approach to the dilemma at hand. She shouted up, taking pot luck in seeking an audience. To that end she was successful, as a vicious vase was hurled at her head, delivering the mother of all migraines. Maybe the wily wizard had a keen sense of humour, or perhaps he'd just be plain barking mad, but either way, despite being a little bit battered and bruised, Elora clearly recognised clever conjuration when she saw some, and certainly Genric enjoyed a joke, gleaning his personal entertainment at the expense of others. Leaving Esther standing guard and following the clue, they descended the cliffside in search of a cave, and with the crashing sound of the incoming tide, the spoken word was severely suppressed. Once inside, starshrooms were gathered, a toe was grappled, and everyone employed magical means to elevate themselves onto a ledge. I wonder where this little trip into left field will land our party. Life in Innistrad can be like a bag of popcorn. Will this latest little excursion provide the sweet result they seek, or will it leave them feeling a bit salty? Let's find out next week.
Thank you for listening to our podcast. Having you as a listener means everything to us. So, whichever streaming service you choose to listen to us with, please give us a like, subscribe and follow. We would love for you to join us on our Facebook or Twitter page, where you can catch up with all of our latest news. While you're waiting for the next episode of Secrets of the Silver City, why not pop over to our website, where you can read all of the information about this campaign, from backstories to setting. All of the links are in the bio of this episode. Join us again next week for the next instalment. Thank you for listening.